What's good, guys? I'll be revealing why I chose Johannesburg over Cape Town because all my people back home, I tell them living in South Africa and they always believe that I'm still in Cape Town. I am not. I'm living in Joburg now and I'll be revealing why. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Nathan Peters. I've been living in South Africa for the past 9 months now. Jeez, time flies. I spent 3 months in Cape Town, the rest of the time in Johannesburg, and I share my experience living here as a remote sales nomad. And obviously I have to break into that industry as well. So first and foremost, why did I come here? Because Johannesburg and Cape Town are very different places, very different cultures, very different scenes. Cost of living is different. So if you're still going to end the video, you have the full picture. It wasn't just a random decision. And I often find that a lot of people who have also come from US, UK, they always kind of make the same decision as I do, for the same reasons that I do as well. So stick around, guys. It's going to be a very interesting one. So the first thing is culture. So when you're looking at culture, you're thinking about music, you're thinking about food, vibes, nightlife, social life, the whole 9 yards. And for me, in terms of culture, Johannesburg wins 100% of the time. So the first thing I noticed in Cape Town is inequality. Now, if you know anything about the South African history and the reason why the cities are structured where you are is because in Cape Town, basically all the Caucasian people, I can't say white because YouTube is a bit crazy, but all the Caucasian people, they took all the nice parts of Cape Town and they shoved all the black people into the townships. And I lived in all the nice areas in Cape Town, and I'm not saying there aren't black people in the nice areas. There definitely are. My black people are working very hard, but unfortunately, I did feel very out of place. I didn't really feel like I belonged sometimes when I was there. I'm not going to say anyone there was particularly hostile towards me. Maybe I had a few microaggressions here and there, but I wouldn't say anyone was necessarily outwardly racist towards me. But I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't really feel comfortable walking around and me being one of the few or only black people there. I just didn't really feel like I really belonged there. I'll go to Cape Town to visit. Cape Town is a beautiful place. It has to be the most beautiful place I've been to, hands down. But in certain areas, I just didn't really feel safe. I didn't really feel like I belonged there. Whereas in Joburg, I can walk around, Sanson, wear my do-rag, and I'll feel at home. I don't feel like anyone's going to look at me funny. Obviously, again, there are certain parts in Johannesburg as well where I've got to be careful, but I don't really feel like anyone's going to look at me funny or judge me for being who I am. So as an African person, I feel more at home here than I do in Cape Town. And that's my personal experience. You might go to Cape Town in certain parts and you might feel like you're at home, but I personally didn't feel that in some parts. Now, I will go to Cape Town again and again and again. I met some amazing friends. And Cape Town is just beautiful. Like whenever I tell people to come to South Africa, I always say to go to Cape Town first and then come to Joburg, okay? But for me, I felt unequal in the parts I was living in Cape Town. The next thing is, the next reason is nightlife. So in terms of nightlife, if you're African-American, if you're Black British, you grew up in the same kind of environment to me. You grew up on, like me, I grew up in Afrobeat. I went to a very African school. I went to a very African sixth form. That's where I came from. So if you come from that kind of environment, that kind of background, and you have that kind of friendship circle and used to this kind of things, you're going to meet a lot of people like that here as well, right? You're going to find people like that, just in a different environment, a different culture. As I've mentioned before in my past videos, here, they are extremely westernized. You're going to find a lot of people here that will understand the jokes, understand the banter. You can talk to them in English. Yeah, of course, learn a bit of Isulu, learn a bit of... Could do that one. I better learn, better learn. I'm learning. You can speak your whatever language you want to learn when you come here, but you can conversate with them in perfect English and you'll have a great time. You can build meaningful friendships. So for me personally, again, from a social life perspective, I just find more people here in Johannesburg. You can find people easier through places like Instagram, events. It's just easier to meet people here than it is in Cape Town. In Cape Town, personally, for me, what I experience is that people are a lot more cliquey. They're not as open. From what I've experienced, I know someone in the comment section, Cape Town, we're very open. But what I experience are not as open as they are here in Johannesburg. In Johannesburg, people here overall have welcomed me with loving arms, right? Built some very amazing friendships here. Probably some people I know for the rest of my life, right? Very, very solid people here. Whereas in Cape Town, I'm not saying you can't find that. I'm sure, you might have an amazing friendship circle in Cape Town, but I find it's just a little bit more reserved, should I say, okay? That's my personal experience. And also in Cape Town, it's a different culture. Like in Cape Town, it's more of a melting pot. I mean, that's how I found South Africa. I found South Africa through Cape Town, through an influencer that was promoting Cape Town. I went to Cape Town first, then I came to Joburg. And every single person that I know that is living in South Africa longer term, they always make the same decision as I've made for the same reason as I've made. They always feel more at home living in Johannesburg than they did back in Cape Town. Cape Town is beautiful. Cape Town is a very luxurious location. Go to Camps Bay, you have those Hollywood Hills looking mansions, but it doesn't mean shit if you just don't feel at home there. It doesn't matter about the pretty views and the mansions. If you don't feel at home where you're living, it does not matter. So that's the biggest reason why I chose Johannesburg over Cape Town. Now, the next thing is dating, okay? So I've had my first share of dating in the past year to be traveling around. Different experiences, some most of which have been short-term relationships. I wouldn't say like South Africa as a whole just has very stunning women, like very, very beautiful women. And I always tell people, especially women back home, if your boyfriend's coming here, if your husband's coming here, please go with him, because if he's seeing what I'm seeing, he is 100% cheating. And that's what I can say, because I speak to a lot of guys here that come from Atlanta, they come from New York, Washington, DC, and they're lotioning their girl at club, they're trying to raise her up. And I know they've got girls back home. So if your guy's coming here and he's extending his stay and he's seeing what I'm seeing, all I gotta say, you wanna think twice about your relationship, hon, because I don't think he's all for you. But yeah, South Africa as a whole, Cape Town, Joburg, stunning women, right? I've got to keep it very PG on here because, again, YouTube is a very vanilla platform. I don't want to get our channel ruined or striked or anything, but if you want to hit me up privately, I'll tell you all the game that I'm on. But I wouldn't say like dating has been anything different in Cape Town. Like Cape Town has beautiful women, Johannesburg has beautiful women. I was talking to a girl based here and we're talking through like this dating app, and that's probably another reason why I came here. We're not talking anymore, but you know, that was another reason why I came here, I guess, as well. Just for prospects of a love life or dating life, should I say. Back to business, okay? The weather here is also very predictable here, I find, in Johannesburg. So in Cape Town, it's very cold, I found. Well, I was in the winter. I arrived in the winter, like June time, June, July. And it was very, because you're like near the ocean, you get a lot of breeze from like the sea and whatnot, and obviously reduces the temperature. So I was walking around in a coat, and it was raining at some times. The weather wasn't actually that nice in Cape Town most of the time. It wasn't like London. London is abysmal, grey skies, raining, freezing cold, like 1 degree, 2 degrees. Not like London, but you know, it's not that nice. It's quite cold, and I don't like the cold. I came to South Africa to have nice weather. So I find here, I mean, in Johannesburg, it definitely does rain, which surprises some people, because some people believe, oh no, South Africa is, you know, it's always sunny. It's not. It's sunny most of the time. Like today was a beautiful day. We had a beautiful sunset, you know, oh my gosh, the sunset was gorgeous, right? Very, very pristine sunset. But it does rain. When it rains here, it rains. And it rains. And it rains. And you have thunderstorms here, like proper thunderstorms that last for an hour. And when you have thunderstorms here, depending on what area you live in, your entire complex could just go out. I've had it many times here. Unfortunately, I don't have an inverter, which is a very annoying thing living in South Africa, is obviously load shedding and electricity problems, sometimes water problems. My entire building was out of electricity for a whole day. It was so bad that I had to literally go and find a co-work. You know what? It wasn't that bad because I found a co-working space, made some new connections, went out of my house. So it wasn't that bad, but it's a bit of an inconvenience, especially for me. I'm a remote nomad. I make all my money online. So I need the Wi-Fi to survive, to make bread. So when that happens, it's very, very inconvenient, but it isn't, you can work around it, should I say. But overall here in Johannesburg, it's a lot more stable. Like if you look at the weather app, it says it's 22 degrees today, it's going to be 22 degrees. Whereas in Cape Town, you can experience all 4 seasons in the same day, which is a little bit annoying. Because you want to plan, like let's say you're going out and you want to wear, you wear shorts, you wear a jacket. It's a lot more unpredictable in Cape Town than it is in Joburg. Okay, the landscape. Now, I'm yet to travel more South Africa. I've only been to 0 0.5%, maybe 1% of the entire country, right? South Africa is a beautiful, very large country, and I'm going to do some more vlogs soon to kind of get into that and show you my experience of that. But the landscapes I'll say in Cape Town, like the pictures online do not do justice. The pictures online do not do justice. You have to come in person to really take it in. When you look at Table Mountain, you look at Camps Bay, and when there's like the sunset, oh my word, it is beautiful. I remember I was with my friend at the time, we were sipping on cocktails and I was looking at the sun going down, and boy, like it was something out of a movie scene. Like it was so beautiful. And I was in a state of like, it's a very spiritual feeling. You guys need to experience it. I was in my happiest state I've ever been. That was in Cape Town. Cape Town is very beautiful. I'll say Cape Town in terms of landscapes, it wins 100% of the time. It is more beautiful than it is in Johannesburg. 100%. But Johannesburg is still very beautiful. I was just in Midrand today, Waterfall. Waterfall is very beautiful as well, right? Very, very nice scene. Yeah, I'll say Johannesburg from aesthetically looking at it, comparing it to the States, because that's probably the best comparison I can give. I know some people don't like me comparing the countries, but I'll say Cape Town's more like LA or California, and Johannesburg's more like Atlanta. That's the kind of vibe I get, right? So both very beautiful, just different kind of scenes and whatnot. And like I mentioned before, I find like a lot of people here, from a social perspective, very westernized, right? Very Americanized. Both the women, like the way they act, the way they dress, I still find it very like with African-American women. The songs they play in their stories, like all the things. And then obviously the men, the way they drip and the dress, the way, like it's very, very Americanized here. If you're coming from the States, you're coming from UK, and you're trying to find other people like you, you're going to meet them here, 100%. And I guess the final reason why I chose Johannesburg over Cape Town was a very small reason, but also a very big reason. So when I came to South Africa the first time, I literally fell in love with the place. I wanted to really get myself involved as much as I can. And I was looking at obviously like actors from like these Netflix movies, and a lot of these actors, all these celebrities live. In fact, a lot of, I won't reveal the era I'm living in as of right now for obvious reasons, but a lot of the South African celebrities are on Netflix shows or in these like really big movies, live in the same area as I live in, right? One even lives like a couple blocks away from me. So I'm in just so much closer proximity to abundance in different industries, right? I'm into sales, I'm into business, but I wanted to meet people who are musicians, who are into sports, right? They're all in Joburg. Like this is where it's at, guys. All the people are here. So from a networking perspective, if you're kind of sick and tired of the same old corporate people and you want to meet people in different industries, you'll meet them all in Joburg. I feel like Joburg is like where, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I feel like Joburg is like the heart of South Africa. That's what my personal experience is, where everyone is, where the scene is, and it's where I want to be. So that's why I've chosen Johannesburg over Cape Town. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like Cape Town is a better location? Is it safer? Personally, that's another thing I want to mention as well. Safety has kind of been the same in both places. I haven't experienced any more crime in any other area than each other. So that's my personal review, but I want to know your experience. Have you lived in Cape Town or Johannesburg? Do you want to visit? I'd love to hear your experience of visiting South Africa.